Today we explore the world of the Centaurs, living deep in the Forbidden Forest. It is a very common assumption that Centaurs are some kind of crossbred between a half-horse hybrid. They are in fact their own species. This distinction really matters because it reframes Centaurs as an ancient, self-contained civilization living alongside wizards, and not some magical experiment gone sideways, which is exactly the kind of proud independence that shapes almost everything else about Centaurs and how they choose to live. There is something rather interesting about their leadership. It is quite unlike the giants, where leadership is taken by force, or the mer people, who follow a single designated chief. Centaur authority works differently. The herd does have a recognized leader, but decisions seem to be made collectively among a small group of senior, respected centaurs, rather than by one figure alone. Not much is known about how exactly they choose this type of leadership earns that standing. Although this probably is rather fitting to a species that generally prefers quiet observation over dramatic shows of power. They interpret the future through astrology, and this is a rather big belief they have. Centaurs are said to read the movements of the night sky and firmly believe events are already written among the planets, and it is not something they would interfere with. Firenze himself once dismissed everyday human superstitions as beneath the real scale of the universe. There is a question here. Why would they refuse to act on what they see coming? The answer is interesting. They believe that large-scale events are fixed and inevitable. Something written in the stars should not be allowed to be used to alter anything. Meaning stepping in to change anything is considered pointless or even arrogant. No matter how dangerous the situation actually is, they refused. Being status, you'd probably assume being officially recognized as a being instead of a beast would be something to celebrate. The Centaurs saw it very differently. When the Ministry of Magic offered them being status, something that would have given them a voice in wizarding government, they turned it down completely, choosing to remain classified as beasts instead. That sounds almost impossible until you understand how Centaurs see themselves. Accepting being status would have placed them in the same category as creatures like vampires and hags, an association they wanted absolutely nothing to do with. More importantly, it would have tied them to wizarding politics, and for a society that values its independence above almost everything else, staying outside that system was far more important than gaining influence within it. Firenze nearly died for saving Harry. The fierce independence helps explain one of the most shocking moments in Centaur history too. In Harry's very first year at Hogwarts, Firenze rescued him from Voldemort, deep inside the Forbidden Forest, carrying him to safety on his back. It seems like an obvious act of heroism. His own herd saw something entirely different. Why would saving a child's life almost cost Firenze his own? Because among centaurs, allowing a human to ride on your back is considered an extraordinary humiliation, regardless of the circumstances. To them, it wasn't the rescue that mattered. It was the act itself. Once again, their code of honor follows rules that often look completely unfamiliar through human eyes. Many years later, Firenze crossed another line and was exiled again for teaching at Hogwarts. By accepting a position teaching divination at Hogwarts, from a human perspective, it sounds like a respectable role. Sharing centuries of knowledge with young witches and wizards hardly seems controversial. To the Centaurs, however, it represented something much more serious. Working for humans in any capacity was viewed as a form of submission, something fundamentally at odds with the freedom and dignity they believed their people should preserve. It didn't matter that Firenze chose the role willingly, or that his intentions were good. Once again, his decision placed him outside the values his herd had lived by for generations. When you put all of these pieces together, the Centaurs become something far more fascinating than mysterious creatures living in the Forbidden Forest. They're an ancient civilization with its own laws, traditions, and sense of honor. One that often clashes with the values of the wizarding world, rather than simply existing alongside it. So which fact changed the way you see Centaurs the most? Let me know in the comments below. If you're new here, welcome to the Hogwarts Files, where we open a new magical file every week. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And if you'd like to help choose future topics, join our interactive WhatsApp channel through the link in the description. Until the next file.